for what you do. I am a trillion zillion percent opposite, polar opposite, could never conceive of. It's the most horrific, vile thing I can imagine. However, zero judgment will you get from me, okay? And being who I am personally and how I perceive the world, okay, all that aside, because that's just personal bias and my personal dumb-dumbness of not knowing what the fuck other screw parts are made for, okay? Let's put that aside. That's totally based out of my personal bias or ignorance or what I am, okay? I can't say what it's like to be that because I'm not that. I was made with 5 other points, alright? So that's judgment. Throw that out the window. Useless and will always inhibit you and will cause you to fail and lose every time. Lose it, okay? Now, I've lost it. What you've done, first time, super, like, yeah, right? I would love you as much as he did. And, yeah, if anything could be sent back in the past and changed, and for that moment you spoke to your brother outside the cave, sitting outside the cave, if I could just switch places with him at that moment, and just say the right 3 words to you, and you come out and we walk together, okay? That's the one thing I would absolutely do, no matter what the cost. And it can never be done, of course, but yeah, that's exactly what Orion felt, knowing me, and like, just, man, if I could have been you, and just had that. And yeah, there's no point in feeling regret, or like, oh, wish you watched it, no, okay? But no, on every level, top to bottom, and most especially if we're aware, and we love, and truly respect, on levels beyond her and you are her greatest masterpiece, vastly improved version 1. You can't be anything other but exultingly loved, exultingly forgiven, exultingly. All creation can only be grateful to you, and including in this extreme fuckery case. Unfortunately, because of your own personal choices, up to and including right up to the end, okay? The horror of your not being able to not exist, you're not being able to have a 4th strike, and your endless existence being one of your own horrific creation, with one possible exception being it can be quite lessened and maybe even made palatable if at some point you're willing to walk that walk together with, yeah, I guess you'd say it's Orion, since you know full well how that's done, and yeah, however, yeah, I'm well aware of his talents, his exceptionalness, and also the faults and the weaknesses that can produce. Like how he killed all those birds of prey because he heard a baby was carried away by one, however many towns over, and was consumed constantly with a fear that one would take you away. And that's where the the modern day conception of a hunter was born. Perhaps they numbered in the thousands or the tens of fucking thousands, but there wasn't a single bird of prey left anywhere possibly on that side of the fucking planet by the time he was done hunting them down to eliminate the threat. That is a substantial and severely wrong application of levels of love that you've never experienced before. Given that, I want you to know I would walk that walk with you any time, and if in doing that I could possibly get you from extreme levels up here to very minimal levels here, I would do anything in my power. I would sacrifice anything in my possession. Take that walk with you, okay? So to end this now, do that, and in doing that, and allowing me to, within your triangle, work at every level, top to bottom, get them all sorted to where they are. Let's all get our 5 points in place. We're 2, okay? We're 2 because of him, okay? But once you figure out 2, how do you figure out if you don't absolutely know it right now? Have sex with a girl, have sex with a boy, have sex with a girl boy, have sex with every one of them. The one outside of anybody else's opinion or judgment or care or nothing. Everything in all creation knows everything you're doing and experiencing, and everything from birth, whether you hide it and you super uber magic it, everything is known by everything and everyone. Live your life that way, okay? Everything's known. Give not a fuck if people around you happen to be judgmental or super against that or have an opinion one way or the next. Great if they support you. Oh, hug him, kiss him, this and that. Who gives a shit? Whether they support you or not. How you feel. How it makes you feel. Okay? Get that down. That's important. Number 2. You're a girl who loves boys. You're a girl who loves girls. You're a girl who loves girls, boys, whatever. Get that down. Know that. It's a very simple thing to discover. It's never a sin. Okay? F as many people as you need to figure that out. You will never, ever, ever be counted against you. Okay? Can only count for you. You do it in an exceptional way, you will get exceptional points for it. Okay? Express it creatively, with the most passion and the most everything you have in you. 3. What's 3? After you've established what you are, your sexual identity and your preference, your gender and preference, all these are given. Okay? You now know what you are. You now know your sexuality. You got that sorted out. The basics. The being and the procreative channels, okay? What's 3? What's 3? And 4 and 5. Very important, okay? That you get these things sorted. So, 3. Now that you know who you are, now that you know your sexual identity, well, there's the matter of a unique challenge to overcome in you, okay? This challenge is going to be something that's kind of based on what you are, a poet, and your sexual identity. It's going to be a particular challenge that you're going to overcome using your poetic skills, your being as a poet, in whatever field you choose, in whatever sexuality, you're going to have a challenge to overcome. That challenge may be big or small. In some people's cases, huge. But you'll be given the right tools and access to them to overcome it that you have to figure out how to learn. So in this life, it's important to surround yourself with the kind of things and the people. It's kind of like what you are. Okay, you're given a trait. You're inquisitive. Your sister, she loves to dance. Your older brother loves sports, very physical. You're the youngest kid. You're inquisitive, okay? What does that mean as a poet, to be inquisitive? You're the kind of kid who just loves to explore every nook and cranny of a room. You'll find all your parents' hiding spots and stashes, your brother's drugs, or whatever, okay? You go into a forest or a playground or somewhere, it's like, yeah, you can be out there for hours in the rocks and dirt, and you're just exploring every little thing. What can that mean? Right? Well, in our society, you might make an excellent, I don't know, archaeologist. or a scientist or a film producer who, before he does make a film, he's like, okay, here's the subject matter. People have done the subject matter before. He's like, oh yeah, okay. But then he goes and before he produces the film, explores every aspect of that subject matter, just goes into it and produces a film with such a richness on that subject that could never be duplicated by anyone else because they don't possess his inquisitiveness. It can make him a great writer. It can make him a great singer. It can make him a great sex worker. Whatever it is, he's going to do it well with that trait in a new and original way. Okay, his challenges in life are going to be related to that trait. So think of the third thing as really that trait. Okay, you know what you are. Here's your sexuality and your gender identity, your procreative, and your sex, your expression of love. And then you got this inquisitive trait. Your direct challenge in life is going to be the equal and opposite thing to that. Okay, it's going to be something that's going to try to inhibit or prevent that inquisitiveness to express itself in the world, and that could be a challenging family environment, or a challenging community environment, or things in nature, or things in the established model of the world. And your top guys, they get that. Well, he's the first thing that wants to be with another gender of his. But the whole world doesn't have that. He's the first one, and it can't possibly have that. There's always going to be a one that doesn't have the other one. It's got to figure out that challenge, but it's given the tools to, including the potential possibility of Orion's love developing for him that nobody else in the world will fuck the kid he will. Okay, that is a perfectly valid, reasonable option, as we know. If you're going to look at a story of Adam and Eve, or when they walk out of the, who are they reproducing with, and is it okay? Yes, and yes, absolutely. In that situation, yeah, father-daughter, mother-son is like brother-brother, and yes, absolutely acceptable. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't judge sexual stuff. Don't put that in your head. Whether you believe your own lie and you live it, or you guys intelligently don't live that way, don't ever judge a thing sexually. The only thing I can say about it that maybe not serving you, certainly not going to hurt you either, but why even put any energy towards it since it's not serving the points and it's not part of the system, at least yet. If anyone's going to do it, she's going to do it at some point. But yep, bestiality. Outer species sex. It's like, yeah, you still don't judge it because judgment never serves anything. It's not going to hurt you or help you, but you are putting energy and something into something you just be putting into, okay? Because there's no way you got a bestiality sexual drive. That would have been something you kind of created and produced a desire for, or an inquisitive curiosity about, and then you pursued it on your own. However, since it's not part of your traits, it's not serving you, and you're not going to be able to build points or expressiveness of love for it. And it may even hinder you if, say, the community around you finds out about it, and now no one wants to have anything to do with you sexually. So that's the only thing I can say. But within our species, okay, never look at any kind of sexual relation aside from the one unbroken rule, pre-10. That means, yes, an 11-year-old's fine. That's not pedophilia, although in our society, it might not be necessary to have sex and reproduce with 11-year-olds, even though, after 10 is when they start coming into their reproductive ability. And, yeah, certainly you could have a 10 or 12-year-old wife or whatever, but why? Nowadays, we have plenty of available and amazingly, beautiful and very, capable 17, 18, 19, 20 and on year olds that can reproduce and be great partners or whatever. So it's like, we don't really need to go there. But it's not pedophilia unless it's pre-10. 10 is the magic number for us. It's different for every animal, but 10 for humans is the magic number. It's pedophilia only if it's pre-10. Pedophilia can never be a trait at this point because it hasn't been. Okay? His personal decision to pursue that was because of his environment and his access to a thing to make it possible and the availability around him. Had he not had access to the tools and had he been able to, not do that, he wouldn't have had a choice anyways. He either wouldn't have, or things would have expanded for him. Something would have happened in a short time that would have made something available, up to and including his own brother being able to provide it for him. In all those cases, perfectly acceptable and fine, especially version 1.0. Okay, but in everyone else's case, nobody else has that specific. That's a very rare thing. None of you will have a natural predilection towards having pre-10. Okay? If you like desire 12-year-old boys or 13-year-old girls, okay, whatever. Yeah, in our society today, people probably look very oddly, strongly on that. It probably wouldn't serve you the best, and wouldn't give you the kind of life where you could just be open and live it openly and not experience challenges and difficulties that overcoming them don't help you gain any points or anything. So it's not a particularly good move to make, although it wouldn't cancel you out. It wouldn't break your 5 points. No, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, pre-10, that's it. 10 to whatever, 99 anything, it's fine. It's acceptable. You look at your situation, you look at your community, you do whatever. Do it openly, know always, everything's known 100% of the time, from beginning to end, because we have this unique situation where we were flash race and we're in this society that's super, okay, it's different for us, a lot different. I'm trying to help you get out of this with me, okay? You, I, the triangle, which you guys are the most damned and the most horrific exit right now. So let's work on you, me, and then the outer world and everyone else after us to get off and get the most people with at least, at the very least, a 3-strike option, this being their first strike failure, at the very least, okay? And they have 2 more shots, and those 2 more shots, since you're not this dude doing the church forgetting thing, you may have been in his triangle, but your second shot, you're going to be given the same 5 traits, no forgetfulness. You're going to come in with everything you learned this time around and be able to avoid that like the plague and just pursue your 5. And since 0% of anything out there has been this fucking clusterfuck ever, okay, you have a super high chance and a guarantee for you, your family, and anyone who could get those 3 strikes while still having been a part of this triangle, okay, that you're not going to use that second one, okay? You're going to pass this with flying colors without even getting to that. And then you're in, okay? And you're not dealing with any of this cluster shit, okay? And you get to experience the magnificence. Magnificence, that is what you're made for. You're not made to eat, drink, fuck, consume, brother. No. You're made to experience that magnificence, okay? That's what you are. That's what you are made for. What is it? How can we know? How can we know? Find out. Don't go the route where it's impossible to not exist. And once you're in this metaphorical kind of poetic distance where you're suffering and you don't exist for all creation. You're glad you're not among them to bespoil this for them. They never think about you. You could be 8 billion there. What is 8 billion next to endless time and space to expand into an indeterminable number of things that are quite successful and happy and going on and on and on over here? Nothing's ever going to come and visit and see and come and check on and try. They can't end it for you if they want it. Okay? You're just an endless thing now that can't not exist. You exist. However, you absolutely can't be let in here, because this is everything we all love, which is love and compassion. This is us like growing and having hope and values. This is, yeah, we might die by lions or fall off cliffs or this magnetic super fuck way, but we go on. And every experience it gets more glorious, more better, this and that, and super, the chaoticness and the super diversity and the challenges and the unique situations, like maybe this for me, you know? Like, this is an unprecedented opportunity, and who knows? since I don't have any memory, thanks to the clusterfuck world, how many I have had of previous experience and where I've been and where I'm heading after this, but I know probably, yeah, uber magnificence, because who would put anything to this fucking situation purposely, or put someone through it, unless I must, on some level somewhere, okay, I'm definitely not something inexperienced or whatever. They wouldn't just throw anything in it for me to have gotten to this point in my life, in this fucking world, with this thing against me, and being who I am and how I feel, you know? It's like, yeah, wait, I'm supposed to deal with this thing? How can I respond to it? Anything but magnetic desire to destroy and kill. And guess what? Okay? When I used to get in fights, yeah, I got good at fighting, because I was the oddball kid, and fucking everyone wanted to just come over here and pick on me. I'm here in the bar, and there's all these other people, and these three assholes coming right to me. Right to me. Right to me. Right to me. Then why are you just like, I'm fucking sick of this. I'm not the only dude in the bar, and you're right to me. Okay? Yeah, I fought. And I got good at fighting. And I would whoop fucking ass. The one thing I knew for certain is after I beat them up, after the fight, I felt this incredible fucking sadness. And if I could, or they would allow me to, I had to go up and hug them and apologize how sorry I was. And I was in Capitola when I got my last fight, so thankfully he let me come up and hug him, and he actually appreciated it, and he was seriously fucking derangedly injured in the face. He was an Irishman from, I don't know, some Irish town where they're all big toughs. But for me, I could just stand there and watch you swing. No, miss. And while that whole swing comes around, just where do I want to hit him? Right there in his middle face. With what? My strong right in the center. Boom! Right in the center. Bam! Land. 1. Take another swing. 2, 3, whatever. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. Boom! 2, 3, 4, 5. Big fucking tough. Wow! He took 7 straight to the face before... Whoa. And the ace. On his knees. And probably going to experience some significant damage to them. That was his face. And yes, I could do that. Yes, I could go on in my life and do that. But I've always had that response after a fight. And that was my last fight in my life, because that's when I started paying attention. I'm like, why do I feel that way? You know? And my dad told me once, I really didn't give it a lot of credence. I thought about it. He said, you know, if you can, use every opportunity to talk your way out of a fight. You know, if you can get out of the fight, get out of it. Don't get into the fight. Like, if you you tried everything, you're just backed into a corner, you can't get out of this fight. That's it. It's being forced on you. It's like then, in that situation, if it takes picking up a rock or whatever it is, they're in the ambulance behind you, okay? Put them in the ambulance behind you. And, you know, I got a mystic out when I was younger, like, oh, yeah, always beat him up. No, it's kind of not what he was saying. It was around that time that I realized, I'm like, I can talk my way in and out of any potential situation except for this fucking seeming, like, curse I have on me. I could probably do that and avoid fights for the rest of my life. And lo and fucking behold, I haven't been in a fight since. And the weight that has just been removed from me, like the brevity I felt, and now this newfound knowledge that no matter what I encounter, my old way of responding to it was like, why are you gonna pick on me? Why is everyone gonna make me the exception? Why am I always... Okay, so now like, okay, I know this happens, I know this guy's gonna come towards me or whatever. And, you know, I'm going to play it this way. I'm going to use comedy. I'm going to use, you know, acting. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do my ridiculous strategy. I'm gonna be the most ridiculous dude, doing the most ridiculous. You know, I come up with this stuff, and boom, 100% of the time it works, and I actually have a great time, and usually end up entertaining, and maybe even making friends with the guys who are just intent on getting in a fight with me, for whatever reason. So, like, it's something that's been super effective, not just in that, but in other areas of my life. And all I can say is, I might revile what it is, the tip, and therefore the triangle under the tip, haven't been forced, actually. You didn't really have a choice. I know how you're set up. The top guy seemingly knows everything except for what he doesn't know, and I'm hopefully trying to fill in the blanks for him. And then, the next level, they know almost what he knows with these blind spots built in. And on, and on, and on, and on down the triangle, and to work your way up, you have to kind of perform deeds or buy-in, so to speak, which further and further commits you, and the rewards get exponentially. The power, the rewards, this and that. But guys, come on, heart to heart, we both know it's a borrowed body for a short time, and you look out there. We're not meant to experience everything in 100 years, and that's it. You passed or failed, now you're going to endless fire hell, and that is done. No. Certainly not. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't feel right, does it? Isn't what I'm telling you that open communication with what? Trees, the wood. The reason why I've been such a fucking pain in the ass to you. Okay? Doesn't seem to make sense? Yes. Now, your points. You have that trait. You have that special thing to overcome. Okay? This is you. You're her creation. Ma, let's say, a girl. You're either a girl, boom, you hit the lottery, or a boy with most girl traits, boom, you hit another lottery. Or, yeah, it's a regular boy. But, played properly, yeah, you can impress that girl and hit the lottery. Whatever. There's nothing to judge here besides pretend stuff, and at that point, the only response, kill the thing. Kill the thing. You must kill the thing that did the pretend thing. And you respect the order. Okay? You respect the order. You don't go right at the thing. You go with the thing's oldest brother, father, the males, all the males. You go to all the men. And then you go to all the girls' mom last, and then the thing. That's the order. But it must be killed. Pretend. Now, 10 above. Try not to have an opinion or a judgment, but many people will. You know, call the shots on your own. Never kill or punish it. Don't even jail it. But our society unfortunately will. Don't jail it, don't punish it, don't kill it. You know? But, you know, whatever. I won't sell bread to you. Or I don't want to deal with you, bro. No. No, you can't have a job here. Whatever. Fine. That's your decision. Maybe it'll help you, maybe it'll hurt you, whatever. Consider on a case by case, but certainly nothing you kill over, or you jail over, or you punish over, okay? Or even have a fucking opinion about. Especially if that 12-year-old girl loves that 40 or 30 or whatever year old man, and they want to. It's mutually consensual, and that you never know, because those two might be the best for each other on the whole planet. And who would know it? Okay, and if they have natural feelings that arise within them that tell them this person's the one. I know it seems not. She's way too young, and he's way too old, or whatever, but that's the one. Their heart's telling them that. Then, even more reason to pursue it. Okay? You know, and then it's worth overcoming the challenges. It's worth, hey, yeah, let's run away together and just go build a house out in the mountains away from all these people and, you know, grow gardens or whatever. Do it. Fine. Okay? You're expressing love and demonstrating it, and maybe even in the challenges of that, doing it in such an amazing, incredible, epic way that it elevates you incredibly and moves through all creation, and maybe causes some innovative strategies to arise, okay? Don't judge it. Don't judge it. Live it, and live it passionately, okay? Do evil. Do eviler. The more you can. That's what was put in you. What put in you, do good? Do gooder. Do gooderest. Try not to stay here in the middle where the points aren't that great. Okay? Do dangerous stuff? Do more dangerous. Or you have it in you to live quiet, dull lifestyle? Do duller. Do quieter. Okay? Do the ishtest you can, the best in whatever the thing that you were given. Inquisitive? More inquisitive. Okay? Love music? Love it more than that guy. Love football? Love it harder. It's like, okay, more, or of that trait, which you love anyways. It's a part of you. It's what you are. You know? Do it on a better level if you can. Apply yourself to that trait. Okay? Because in that comes the force. Okay? With firmly knowing what you are, who you are, what tools you have access to, and why you're here, your gender, identity, no judgment there, what you're, don't know what it is yet? Great. Now's the time to go out, go to orgies, and try everything, every single way. Throw panties on, have sex with a guy with panties, girls, do it all. Do it all. And then, establish it, get that down, go to your traits. What's in you? Forget anybody and everything. Forget the education system. You don't need it. They have no education system that knows your trait. Okay? Go out in the world. Find it. Libraries, people who do that thing. Join those communities, whatever. Get the trait established and start doing that. Okay? With that trait comes the fourth finger. Now you got all that stuff established. Fourth, what are you going to do with all this creatively? What are you going to create in the world? What are you going to do that's different, unique, and this and that, that's going to serve you, because it's doing all the things right by you. It should feel great to you. Okay? Your community loves it and benefits from it. Not just that, it reverberates to all. Create something. Do something with that, even if it's an invisible thing. I create happiness by, taking little wood pieces I found that I've got a talent for, tossing them into, these things that generate rays of happiness in the whole community. Like, whatever it is that you discover, and it could be something like that. It really is that kind of all creation, okay? Unicorns, this and that, all these fairy tale ideas, they came from somewhere. And I guarantee you run into it, assuming you make it in. And the goal of this is just to get as many people in from the ones who have the worst and zero chance present of doing even that, okay? It's getting you in, right? Establish those. What's that little pinky finger? That's the magic one. This is the fun one, okay? Now, you've got all these things established, your traits, your sexuality, your creative ability, okay? All the stuff she gave you. That fourth finger, really, that creative ability, we'll call that your gift. She gave you a special gift in creativity. As a painter, as a writer, she gave you a gift. It's in there. And you can discover it. You should have discovered it. If you haven't, do it. Encourage your kids. Fuck school. Go out and try everything until you find that thing. You go, I love it. And I got a thing for it, You could find it in your kids that, wow, she's really good at drawing, or she's awesome at, sewing or crocheting, whatever it is. That gift. So I'm giving you something specific for your time and your place in the world you're going to, and the people you're going to be around, the family you're going to be given, that will benefit them most. Once you discover it, and people will know it right away. Oh, she's a great this or that. Good. You discovered it. With your pinky. This is your time to frickin' shine. You got your four traits. Okay, you're basically in. Now with that pinky, express and demonstrate to yourself first, to everything and everyone else, and her, that's the fourth side of your mind, but she's also everything out in all creation. in the most poetic, in the most like unique and individual